Good evening. Two of the country's most entertaining sides feature on tonight's programme. Ipswich Town, leaders of Division 1, West Ham United, leaders of Division 2. We also visit Old Trafford at the end of a troubled week for Manchester United. But today's most startling result came at Anfield, and Ray Clements is here to tell us how Liverpool's record-breaking home run came to an end against Leicester, whose winning goal was scored by Jim Melrose, Liverpool's first defeat on their own ground for 86 games. Elsewhere this afternoon, trouble at the racecourse ground Wrexham, where fans demanded their money back because the game against Grimsby was played in heavy fog. What made matters worse, Wrexham lost. Dario Gradi, Crystal Palace's fourth manager of the season, got off to an unhappy start. Two of his players sent off in the 2-0 defeat at Middlesbrough. Well, let's start our action coverage at Old Trafford, where, at the end of a week of disappointment and criticism, Manchester United were at home to Birmingham City, and where a crowd of 39,081 had gathered to show their support for a United team strengthened by the fitness of Joe Jordan. Let's now join our commentator, Gerald Sinstadt.
And with Joe Jordan feeling no adverse effects from his bruised knee, Dave Sexton has been able to keep to his intention of fielding again the side that lost 2-0 at Sunderland on Wednesday. Sammy McIlroy is sub and Ray Wilkins is here as a spectator. Frank Worthington returns to the Northwest today as Birmingham's leading scorer, a position he's held at his three previous clubs too. His total so far this season is 14. Birmingham, like United, were knocked out of the FA Cup last Saturday, but they've made only one change, leaving out left-back Terry Lees and bringing in Kevin Broadhurst for his first game of the season. And Birmingham City, White Sox, the all-dark strip, it's dark blue, kick off, attacking the Stretford end goal. George Tyson from Sunderland is the referee. Good solid tackle from Broadhurst. Jordan. Now that's a good ball from Jordan. Bringing in Albiston. Jordan back in the middle, calling for the return. It's over his head and over Birtle's head. Onto Coppell's foot, and the shot from Macari hit Gallagher. Don't think Gallagher can really be given credit for getting it away. He just happened to be in the path of the ball. William Macari, shot on target, deflected. The cross was hit very deep, missed out Jordan and Birtles. Came right through to Coppell. Throw in taken by Ainscough. And he can now try again. He's actually got a free kick. Taken with a rolling ball, I'd have thought, but Mr. Tyson disposed to allow it to go. Worthington crosses. Gallagher was there behind Buchan. Forward by Todd. And Bailey quickly to see if he can release somebody on the break. Jordan against Broadhurst, and Broadhurst didn't do very well, but Jordan did. Joe Jordan makes it 1-0 after only 5 minutes. Good, intelligent bit of play by Bailey made that possible. Broadhurst got into a terrible mess and Jordan took full advantage. So that's Joe Jordan's 8th goal of the season. And it's 1-0 to Manchester United. Thomas. Albiston crossing, and Broadhurst didn't make the header, Coppell did, but out of play. Oh, poor Kevin Broadhurst, he's just 21, had a trial as a youngster with Manchester City, in fact. But he's more at home, I think, probably on the right side, although he did have a couple of games in the number 3 shirt this time last year. Queen had his arm hooked over Worthington's shoulder. Tyson right on the spot. Langan, Kirbishley. Run off it by Macari, McQueen. Checks away from Dillon, finds Jordan. There's an accidental entanglement of feet between Dillon and Duxbury. And here's Dillon with the ball. Birchin to his left. Worthington through the middle, and that's on his head. That was beautifully done by Dillon, and it was a good, powerful header again from Worthington. But Bailey had read the position well. Dillon finds the perfect pass here that just goes over the top of the defender, onto Worthington's head, Bailey covering well. Birmingham have put together one or two quite attractive moves, but a lot of the time there hasn't been very much that's constructive coming from the back and from midfield. Jordan putting the goalkeeper under pressure again there. Whelan's now to Gemmell. Langan rather to Gemmell, and then seem to catch his studs. Duxbury. Macari. Orbiston rather. Up to Birtles. Duxbury. Thomas. Orbiston staying there, supporting him. This is Orbiston. And that hit Macari as Gemmell missed the clearance. Macari got in, and Whelan's made a very good save. Entitled to be angry. Ball played in hard and completely missed by Gemmell. And then a muddle, and Macari got in, and what an acrobatic, athletic save from Jeff Whelans. Manchester United preparing to bring Sammy McElroy into the game. It's Kirbishley for Birmingham. It's a good ball too, finding Ainscough well. Birchin going near post, and Worthington coming in behind him, not for the first time, timing the header, but not getting the angle right. And it's Thomas who is coming off, with Sammy McElroy to take his place. McElroy, who was substituted during the first cup game against Brighton and left out of the next 4 matches, now gets a chance to re-establish himself. Macari, on to Birtles, who was played onside by Todd in the middle. Chance for McElroy to cross, good one too. Koppel didn't quite make it, Macari got a header in, Koppel again, and it came just behind Jordan. Nicol, that's out. Birmingham lived a bit dangerously there. McElroy's cross, beautifully struck, jump by Koppel, which may have got a glancing header. Another attempt by Macari, but eventually the ball goes away. Todd, Kirbishley, bringing it back from Langan, and Buchan. Koppel, McQueen. McElroy again, encouraged by the Old Trafford crowd every time he touches the ball. And Jordan up with Whelans posed another problem for that Birmingham defence. And Birmingham looking somewhat rocky at the back, and probably a shade lucky to be only one down here. They've only been half chances, but so far none has quite fallen right for Manchester United. Nicol. Birtles took as much weight off it as he could. Buchan. Yes, Buchan playing it back to Bailey in order to let the side regroup. There are a lot of defenders forward. Birtles jumping against Gallagher. Now Langan. Macari. Birtles. Jordan and Koppel in the middle. McElroy didn't have room to cross. Orbiston does and plays it to the feet of Gemmell. McQueen wins it back. Macari, Jordan, Macari, and just over. Nicely worked series of 1-2s there, and Jordan applauds Macari, whose final effort was only inches over. Determination by McQueen won the ball in the first place. Macari slips it to Jordan, instant return, Macari curling it just over. We've had 45 minutes in this first half. We haven't seen a trainer, so it won't be long before Mr. Tyson gives us the whistle that'll send them in. And there indeed it is. Manchester United putting quite a lot of pressure on a somewhat uncertain Birmingham, leading with Joe Jordan's goal. It's 1-0 here at half-time, and we can take advantage of the interval to look again at a very good bit of work by Gary Bailey and some very efficient finishing from Joe Jordan. Bailey quickly to see if he can release somebody on the break. Jordan against Broadhurst, and Broadhurst didn't do very well, but Jordan did. So we've got Sammy McElroy over on this left side of the field as we line up for the second half. Mickey Thomas sidelined with a calf strain. Manchester United to kick off in the second half. Floodlights on. Mr. Tyson to check with his linesman, and away we go. 1-0 to Manchester United. There'd been a lot of speculation about what the attendance would be today. The answer is 39,081. Birchin. Gemmell. Kirbishley's low cross. It was left to Bailey, and Bailey didn't let United down, but that could have been an awkward one. Played in low here by Kirbishley, and everybody rather stood back and let it go through. Bailey equal to the challenge. Worthington. Ainscough with Langan outside him. Kirbishley has gone into the box. Birchin arriving. Langan found him. Birchin took off, soared into the ball, and drove it over with his forehead. Tremendous jump. Still couldn't get over the top. Jordan. Broadhurst. Dillon. Kirbishley didn't control it well enough. McQueen. And McQueen is going to try and go it all on his own, and for a big man he really does gallop. Well, the crowd responding to that, and it was real 110% effort from a man who never gives less. Dillon. Langan. Kirbishley given a pass that gave him no chance, really. Ainscough. Now Kirbishley can cross, didn't do it very well. Todd. Broadhurst. Birchin. Gemmell. Birchin again. Dillon. And it wasn't a particularly hard shot, but it seemed to cause Gary Bailey a problem or two. It was bobbling, I think, and he scrambled it away for a corner. And during the hold-up, Tommy Kavanagh can come on and have a look at Gordon McQueen, who's gone down holding his left shin or ankle. Dave Sexton on the right, on the Manchester United bench. McQueen clearly still feeling the after effects. Good catch by Bailey. McQueen still limping, still feeling the pain. Gallagher, Macari, Jordan, Birtles, Dillon for Birmingham, straight to the feet of Nicol. Koppel. Birtles to Nicol, who was played onside by Gallagher in the middle. And Nicol's crossed to Jordan, and over the top by McElroy, who should have scored. McElroy dug it up with his toe after it had been turned by Jordan. Kirbishley shot! It really was not far away. Oh, a real bold adventure here from Alan Kirbishley. They don't often go in from that far out. Kept it down well. And I think there may just have been a deflection off the heel there. Kirbishley. Merchin to Ainscough. Langan. Gemmell. Worthington. Broadhurst. Well, he got a little bit excited when he got towards the edge of the penalty area. Struck the shot hard, but even though it dipped, it was still over the top of Gary Bailey's crossbar. Made himself the opening quite well. Mr. Tyson now allowing Steve Lynex to come on in place of Keith Birchin. Jordan against Gallagher once more, and the linesman signalling for a foul on Jordan. Goals have been a problem for both these sides this season. They scored 83 between them, 43 to United and 40 to Birmingham. And it has shown this afternoon. McElroy. 5 minutes to go as Jordan plays the ball wide for Nicol. 4-5 of them in the middle for Manchester United, and Macari has got the goal. That makes it 2-0, and for Lou Macari it makes it 100 goals in league football. We've got 27 of them for Celtic in Scottish League, and now 73 for Manchester United with this header. Lou Macari making it 2-0, and that sews the game up with less than 5 minutes to go. Dillon. McElroy forward. Dillon, not such a good pass. Nicol, Duxbury, McQueen. Birtles. McQueen prepared to go after it, plays it in for Jordan. And McQueen is there, and Koppel too! And Whelans thought that might have been on target because he went flying across goal. Turned across by Jordan. McQueen couldn't take it. In came Koppel, and but with a bend it would have gone in. McQueen limping on the left side of midfield, with Duxbury having taken over his role in defence, and Manchester United getting a free kick for another foul on Jordan, this time by Tom. Carried the ball all the way back to the wall, now carries it all the way out to the referee, and so gains enough time for Birmingham to organise. Koppel, good save, just a fingertip the second time, then Jordan, good header by Broadhurst, and put out by Linex. Whelans, I don't think, can be faulted for not holding the shot. It was struck hard and low. There's the corner, and the header away. McQueen, closed down by Linex. Birtles back to McElroy. McElroy's dummy. Then the cross, right through to Whelans. And the final whistle from Mr. Tyson. 2 points for Manchester United against a Birmingham side who always seem to be there for the taking. First goal by Jordan, and Lou Macari's 100th league goal in Scottish and English football, wrapping it up for Manchester United. 2-0, they've beaten Birmingham City.
Yes, a very welcome victory for Manchester United, but obviously some concern over the injury to centre-half Gordon McQueen, who ended the match limping up and down the touchline.
This is not turning into the happiest of seasons for you. What's the story of today's injury?
Well, I went in a bit of a run with the ball later on in the second half there, and I lost control a bit of it at the end, and I had a bit of a lunge at the ball, and I seem to have went over my ankle. But I don't know the extent of the damage yet until I come in the morning and have a look and let the physiotherapist have a look at it then.
It's swollen, is it?
Yeah, it's very swollen just now, but as I say, you can't really tell what the extent of the damage is when it's so swollen, but we'll see in the morning.
So you won't be out dancing tonight?
We'll certainly not be doing that, that's for sure.
Well, a lot's been said and a lot's been written about Manchester United this week. Certainly the press reacted very strongly after defeats at Nottingham Forest and Sunderland, a point Gerald Sinstad made to Lou Macari.
Supporters don't know our supporters, is it? The people who write it don't like Manchester United. So therefore you're getting a very biased opinion. It's quite obvious the team's not playing well. Results speak for themselves. But when you get people writing who don't like the club, who don't like the team, it's a very biased opinion. And if they don't like the club and they don't like the team, then obviously they don't like the supporters, because the supporters are Manchester United.
Why do you think they don't like the team?
Well, I think you know as well as I do. I think the people, the press people, feel they get more cooperation from Main Road than they do from Old Trafford. That's one reason, I think. There's possibly one or two others, but I think that's the main reason.
You're not thinking that just because people are critical, that necessarily means they don't like the club?
Well, I think the people who were on your programme on Friday evening, I don't think they like Manchester United. And if they don't like the club, then I don't, they don't like me because I play for them. I love Manchester United, I love the supporters, and I think 40,000 of them gave them all a shock today. I think a few pens fell out of people's hands in the press box about 4:10 when the crowd went up.
The burden of the criticism is not so much the results, but people have been disappointed with the way the team has played. Do you feel that's fair?
Well, they are disappointed because at the end of the day it's down to results. If you're not getting the results, everyone is disappointed. And all our supporters quite rightly expect to see honours here, because this is the biggest club in the country, and whether you like it or not, it's the best. I mean, there's a lot of talk about Manchester City. Manchester City could never overhaul this club.
Do you think then that all the talk there's been that by the end of the season Manchester City might be getting bigger gates than there are at Old Trafford is not going to come to pass?
Oh, there's no chance of that. This is the home of football. This is where people will come regardless of the way we're playing. I mean, the way we're playing, were we entitled to 40,000 people today?
Some very forthright views from Lou Macari. Well, there's no doubt who'll be making the headlines tomorrow. Liverpool following their first defeat at Anfield for over 3 years. And would you believe it, by Leicester City, who were bottom of the First Division this morning. Well, at this stage, we bring in Ray Clements. And what was the feeling, Ray, at Anfield after that defeat?
Well, quite obviously very, very disappointing. Not so much that our run of home wins had come to an end, but the way we played yet again. We got what we deserved. That was what the assistant manager said to us, Joe Fagan, and he came in after the game and said, well, lads, in the second half you really got what you deserved, and I think that's very, very true. We just didn't play, unfortunately.
What about the story of the game now? Reports that you were responsible for Leicester's equaliser after you went in 1-0 up at half-time.
Yes, 1-0 up at half-time. In the first half I thought we competed very, very well. Obviously Leicester are very much a running side. And in the second half, I was at fault for the equalising goal, yes. Ball was crossed to the far post, a ball that I should have caught. Unfortunately, I palmed it down, then lost my footing, and instead of diving on the ball, I think it was their number 7 ran in and hit it into the net.
And what about the winner from Jim Melrose?
Well, the winner, yet again, unfortunately this season we've made a habit of giving away silly goals. As I say, the first goal was my fault, and the second goal, as we see on the screen here, is Phil Thompson and Colin Irwin got in rather a mess between each other. And Jim Melrose received the ball and stuck a firm shot past me. So yet again it was a defensive mistake, but unfortunately it's something that's crept into our game this year.
Well, not an isolated performance. I think there is a feeling at Liverpool that you haven't been playing well for quite a few weeks now.
Yeah, I think if the one thing we've always got at Liverpool is that we're a very honest bunch of lads, and we realise that for 4 or 5 weeks, maybe more, we've not been playing as we can play, and that of course is very, very disappointing. And obviously we know we're not playing well. It doesn't need the management or the press or anybody to tell us. What we've got to do is get a grip of ourselves, because in the next 4 or 5 weeks, if we don't get a grip of ourselves, then the whole season's going to blow up in our face.
Ray Clements, thanks for joining us, and certainly that is the day's major story from the First Division. We have some other details, though. Defeat also for Everton. Kenny Burns scored a brilliant winning goal for Nottingham Forest in the first half at the City Ground, the only goal of the match from 35 yards. Gary Shaw's 17th goal of the season after 2 minutes for Aston Villa against Manchester City was enough to win the match. But afterwards, City manager John Bond said Villa were completely overwhelmed and very lucky to get 2 points out of it. I want more commitment from the forwards. It's no good having all the play and all the possession if you don't score. Today's national headlines: Kevin Keegan scored both goals in Southampton's 2-1 win over Sunderland. Southampton's 6th successive win, during which time they've scored 20 goals. Andy Gray scored in Wolves' 2-0 defeat at the Championship outsiders West Bromwich Albion. The Championship favourites, Ipswich, were at home to Stoke City without an away win for 3 months. Anglia Television were at Portman Road. Jerry Harrison's the commentator, and Ipswich are in the dark shirts.
Brilliant sunshine, firm pitch. All the frost's gone out of it, and it's Ipswich kicking from left to right to get things going. Down for Ward, Brazil. Stoke immediately pulled a lot of players back. They play a sweeper system, and there goes Brazil. Has got free already. Hit the post. Mariner cleared again, and Stoke in the first 20 seconds escaped twice. Amazing. Calls cross, Gates couldn't get it, Monroe away. Griffiths challenging, but it's Osman to win that one. Nice touch by Brazil, and only here. Brazil's going to get it. No! Oh, McCall beaten by the bounce there, and Heath coming in on this one. Nicely forward for Griffiths, and it's a good effort. Beautifully saved. Back comes Muren to help him. Mills on the right for Osman. Stoke backpedal, everybody back except two. Gates here, Munro behind him, down he goes, penalty! Well, he fell for that one in more ways than one. Fox has done well so far, he's kept out at least 4 or 5, but this is his most difficult test. The breakthrough at last, taken a long time coming. Walk from the spot, the goalkeeper's moving before it's kicked, but it doesn't matter much. And beautiful play here, tremendous confidence. Gates back to Mills. Nice little sequence this, if it can open up Stoke. But they've got a lot of players back now. Gates with support from Tyson here. What a ball inside to Arnold Muren. He's onside, he sets it up. And Brazil, oh, what a save it is! That goalkeeper performed miracles there, and in the end, about beat him. What a superb move, all the way from the Ipswich penalty area. A superb pass inside for Muren, and then he checks it back inside for the first drive from Mariner. Good save there. Then Brazil again, another good save, and then deflected. I think it's an own goal for 2-0. Mariner turning away from O'Callaghan. Mills in for Tyson. Beautiful turn, lovely play. Gates. Brazil battling to make it difficult for Stoke to get it clear. Still the pressure on Stoke. Muren to Mariner to Brazil. Here we are. Just standing there almost. The way Ipswich are pushing it around is making things almost impossible for goalkeeper Peter Fox. Some lovely play before the ball got here to Mariner. Lovely touch, and then pokes it past Fox. 3-0. Gates escaping as Brazil goes forward. Oh, Brazil now with a chance of a hat-trick. Oh, still there. And here comes Muren. Oh, dear. In goes Butcher. Powerful stuff. Butcher is going to get that one again. There might be an opening for Gates here. Gates is away. They can't catch him now. So difficult for the goalkeeper. Beautifully done by Gates. If that ball had risen an inch off the ground, goalkeeper Fox will have got it, as he has done indeed perhaps a dozen times in this game. But once Gates is away, you've got to be on a motorbike to catch him. And it's neatly done. Number 4.
4-0 then to Ipswich. Let's bring in Ray Clements again. Your thoughts on the Championship now after seeing that?
Well, obviously, with 14 games to go, anything can happen yet, and we'll battle through and hopefully get our rhythm back into our game. But having seen Ipswich play there, I mean, they're going to take some catching. They're playing with so much confidence. They've got players all around the field that like to score goals for them, and they're not conceding at the other end. You know, Paul Cooper's making vital saves in all games, and you know, they're going to take some catching. That's a certainty. And Aston Villa are still there as well. So.
Ray, thanks very much. Well, those 4 Ipswich goals helping to keep them ahead of Aston Villa on goal difference. Liverpool can't afford any more slip-ups. Well, 5 successive wins and Spurs are heading for a place in Europe. And note the 3 North West clubs all grouped together there. Carl Harris scored Leeds' winning goal against Norwich. They appear safe now. Only Leicester of the bottom 6 won today. Crystal Palace actually went to the bottom, losing 2-0 at Middlesbrough and having Tony Seeley and Jim Cannon sent off. We'll take a break now. Second Division action shortly with the leaders West Ham against Preston. We'll be back.
Jesus. I don't envy if you do.
Welcome back. Time now to look at the second division
right it is.
with the leaders
With
by
nose
7
like this,
points this
anything like
morning.
that.
West Ham against Preston, who haven't won for 8 games. And what a task facing them, as West Ham have won their last 12 home league games. London Weekend cameras were there. Brian Moore's the commentator. We joined it in the first half with Preston in the light shirts. Welcome back. Time now to look at the second division with the leaders by 7 points this morning, West Ham United, against Preston without a win in their last 8 games. And what a task facing them, as West Ham have won their last 12 home league games. London Weekend cameras were at Upton Park. Brian Moore's the commentator. We join it in the first half with Preston in the light shirts.
And so it's West Ham who got us away in the dark shirts of claret and blue, attacking the goal to our right. Preston in white. And West Ham knowing full well that today's the day when they've got to put all sorts of cups behind them and get back onto that league road towards the first division. Here's Phil Parkes with an early touch. And now Ray Stewart. Preston, who come 3 off the bottom of the second division. Only 1 away win in the league this season, and that was at Wrexham away back in October. Good play here between Devonshire and Martin. It's Alvin Martin on the ball again for West Ham. Lampard hit high towards cross. Baxter winning it well in the air though for Preston North End. And here's Graham Bell, used to be at Oldham. Played there towards Houston, but Billy Bonds back to Phil Parkes. Devonshire played the cross again. Mick Baxter's there with him. West Ham's throw. Now Brooking, his first touch of the afternoon. Well, it was a typical one, and a good advantage played there by the referee, which the crowd enjoyed as well as Brooking. And well, Brooking really is having a moment or two there. And another one, and a little cross there, nodded down, and Devonshire shot. The crowd really applauding that persistent little play there by Brooking, but at the moment Neighbour making good progress there, and cross was in and pushed behind for the corner by Mick Baxter. Well, that was a pleasant little interlude there by Trevor Brooking, and a corner now for West Ham, which Neighbour will take. And Billy Bonds was there, and Preston a little hard pressed to get that one away. Stewart playing it wide for Neighbour again. It's opened up behind the Preston defence for him. Pulled back there towards Brooking. Looked to get something on the turn, and Tonks was down. Pouncing on that ball in the 6-yard area. And a really bright opening start for West Ham. And suddenly there was a lot of space in behind that Preston defence there for Jimmy Neighbour. Did everything right there, pulling it back for Brooking on the turn, but not quite the power of shot that he wanted. Clive Thomas, who was in charge of the thunderous Merseyside derby in the Cup last week. Stewart getting it forward here. O'Riordan. A little touch inside by Goddard for Neighbour. And might find Goddard again onside. Oh, and it's in there! I thought for a moment it was over the top, but Goddard has made it count. Well, it was Paul Goddard who started it off in the first place, and Neighbour who played it through again to him. And it chipped off the keeper, in fact, just into the far corner. West Ham 1, Preston 0, 10 minutes of the first half gone. Goal 15 of the season for Paul Goddard. Now Cross v Baxter again, and Cross won that one. Here's Goddard. Brooking. Oh, just wide. Beautiful combination there. Cross having won it in the air in the first place. And then this little bit of play from Goddard, leaving it for Brooking. Just wide of Tunks's goal. Devonshire. Stopped by O'Riordan. No, Baxter rather. Brooking. Bonds. Pike. Stewart. Cross, the little touch there for Goddard. Little touch there towards Pike. It's got to be, and it is. Well, what delightful touches there were along the way there. Stewart playing it in, the little flick there by Brooking, the little flick there by Goddard. Pike was suddenly through, the ball ran kindly for him, he had the nerve to take it round the keeper, and there it is in the back of the net. So 2-0 to West Ham, 33 minutes gone. And Jeff Pike, who's having such a really good season in the midfield, such an industrious little character, 5th goal of the season for him. Pike. Brooking, another marvellous game, Brooking. Cross for Brooking again, played in quickly there, back again for Cross. The white shirts are everywhere, and in the end, Cross with his shot eluded them all, but not goalkeeper Roy Tunks. Played it nicely there by Stewart. Cross for Brooking. And a little ball played back again there by Goddard. He does that so well, and Tunks does that well too. Lampard hit forward, aimed towards Goddard. He's got troubles of his own with O'Riordan. Half-time whistle goes, and what a good first half it's been for West Ham. Some beautiful touches, and some really strong play from Paul Goddard, who scored the first goal off the hands of Roy Tunks, but Goddard's contribution has been immense. And of course we had the second goal from Jeff Pike, who rounded the keeper to make it 2-0. Things looking good for West Ham. Half-time then here at Upton Park. West Ham 2, Preston 0. Well, after West Ham's excellent first half, you can be sure their fans are looking for more goals in the second. So away we go then with West Ham 2 up against a side that's not won in its last 9 games and have a really massive task facing them now. West Ham, incidentally, not lost in their last 18 consecutive matches at Upton Park, and scored in every game they've played here this season. Towards Cross, but O'Riordan did well. In fact, did extremely well, because his pass finds Graham Bell. And off Lampard for another Preston corner, and still West Ham just cannot get going. So Bell with another corner. Baxter right in there again, and it's Baxter's header, and Parks just kept that away under a lot of pressure from McGee. And now it's with Cross. Well, he's gone past McAteer. He's got support from Neighbour. And a shove in the back by Neighbour on O'Riordan. Gives Preston another free kick. Well, maybe that little scare at the other end there when it looked as though Preston might just get a goal. As we see here now, it was a good jump by Baxter. And Parks, in fact, I think pushed it against the post and got it away there. Peter Sayer, the Preston sub, used to be at Brighton. Getting ready for action. And it's Paul McGee who's going off. And Peter Sayer, the Welshman, who's coming on. Stewart. And Neighbour. Across. Back for Neighbour again. Inside this time for Pike. Devonshire. Played there this time for Brooking, but there was a bit of steal in the challenge of Gordon Coleman there. So the last quarter of an hour of the game, Brooking again trying one of those impossible angled crosses, which on that occasion was impossible. And he's got a corner. Alvin Martin's up for it. Billy Bonds is right in there too. Lampard. Oh! A marvellous goal! Well, that's woken the whole place up now. He's done that once or twice in his career, I can remember, Frank Lampard. But onto that right foot, no hesitation. Superb shot, giving Tunks no chance. And that's 3-0. With a quarter of an hour remaining now. Elliott playing it in, who is Sayer, and West Ham allowed him a bit of space there. Bell did so well. And in the end, Pike with a chance to get it away now for West Ham, as far as David Cross. Did well, Cross. Still battling away, and he deserved that little bit of luck. Looking up to see what's available. Pike is. Now Brooking. And certainly Devonshire on this side. Playing with a bit of style again now, West Ham. Flicked in there for Goddard. Back for Devonshire. Is it going to be? It is! Superb goal! Brilliant stuff by West Ham. That's a smile to beat them all. And it was a goal that certainly had the beating of Preston. What style it was. Devonshire on the ball here. Flick inside. A little flick there. There's Devonshire looking for the return, a bit of luck there, and as Preston came in, just sliding the ball into the back of the net, 4-0. Stewart. Oh, that was a clearance by Lampard that didn't carry. Westwell playing it in there again. Stewart. Sayer, I notice, holding his left thigh as though he's pulled something there, the sub who came on, and struggling a little bit there. But West Ham certainly aren't struggling, and here's Brooking. Played on again for Devonshire, but Houston had come back, and in fact he's conceded a free kick. He did well, he came and spotted very quickly there that Devonshire was on a free run. But the foul was an obvious one and the free kick quite properly given. Brooking for Devonshire. Number 5! Well, there's all sorts of discussions about, the crowd are really loving that. But there's all sorts of discussions about whether that sort of thing is a legitimate free kick. Just lifted there by Brooking. And look at that. I mean, it's beautiful skill, the sheer cheek of it. And the 5th goal for West Ham. Coleman with a chance to bring it forward, finding Graham Bell. And the cross coming in there, but nobody up there with a white shirt in a really striking position. The final whistle goes. A brilliant victory for West Ham. A sloppy spell at the start of the second half after a beautiful first half. And then Frank Lampard really got them on their way with that amazing right foot shot of his that rocketed into the goal. And then Alan Devonshire came into his own. And really, it's not only been the quality of the football, but the quality of the goals. And Devonshire certainly gave us that. And the crowd everywhere are on their feet, standing to applaud another brilliant West Ham performance that surely takes them yet another step closer back to the First Division. Final score, and what a decisive scoreline it is. West Ham 5, Preston 0.
So West Ham still out in front by 7 points ahead of Notts County, who almost unbelievably, considering their position, won for the first time in 3 months today, 2-1 at Sheffield Wednesday. Blackburn are creeping back into contention, details in a moment. Queen's Park Rangers won at second place. Swansea, Bolton and Wrexham both lost. Oldham's Great Escape Act continues, but Preston's defeat at West Ham leaves them in serious trouble. Marshall Burke with his 4th goal in 5 games, and John Lowy, another recent signing, scored Blackburn's goals in the 2-0 win over Orient. Blackburn have now gone 10 games without defeat. Norman Wilson, the Wrexham secretary, said the club would lodge a complaint with the Football League after this afternoon's game with Grimsby was played in heavy fog. Fans demanded their money back. Police were called in to disperse an angry crowd. Wrexham lost 2-0. Roger Palmer, 22 yesterday, scored Oldham's first goal in the 2-0 win at Cardiff. Martin Nuttall got number 2, his first for the club on his second appearance. The top of Division 3 looks like this tonight. Burnley down to 7th place, losing 3-0 at Chesterfield, their second defeat in 5 days. Huddersfield move into 4th place after a 2-1 win at Blackpool. And Blackpool stay second from bottom, but with Swindon, Carlisle, who beat Chester, and Hull all winning today, Blackpool's position is more serious than it was this time last week. Player-manager Alan Ball scored a penalty in the first minute and said afterwards, "I'm delighted at the way we played. We were magnificent and desperately unlucky to lose. There is no way we will go down." Incidentally, none of our 4th Division clubs won today. Today's pools, in fact, the dividend forecast is low. No claims required for 5 score draws and 10 no-score draws. The highest attendances at Manchester United in Division 1, although it was their lowest Saturday gate of the season. West Ham, as always, lead the way in Division 2, Barnsley in the 3rd and Peterborough in the 4th. Well, finally, our sympathies again to Liverpool, whose record of unbeaten games ended on 85. But what a magnificent record it is, and one that'll take some beating. We say goodnight with another look at the teams who are understandable favourites to win the 1st and 2nd Division championships. And really, they're doing it in such fine style, aren't they? Good night.
Alvin Martin's up for it. Billy Bonds is right in there too. Lampard. Oh! A marvellous goal. Brooking for Devonshire. Number 5. Still the pressure on Stoke. Muren to Mariner to Brazil.